right, here we go. Shelob's Lair. Okay, so campaign mode. We're going to attach a heavy burden to the ring bearer, and then we're going to remove some burdens, those with those icons on them. A lot of cards on the table, but you've seen a lot of them if you've been following along. Here is the heavy burden. It's permanent. It's a condition. It attaches to the ring bearer, and then forced, at the end of the planning phase, either raise each player's threat by 1 or exhaust the ring bearer. So that's no fun. So from this point on, we got to worry about a heavy burden. Easy to forget. So end of the planning phase, we either have to exhaust Frodo or raise our threat by 1. He's also going to hold on to the Lembas, which would ready himself and Sam. He's going to hold on to the old bogey stories, which would let me shuffle away 6 cards at least and then draw 6 more. Let's see, Hotam Bombadil goes in my hand. Sam is a ranger, so he gets +1 defense. He's also a Grey Wanderer, so that means the first card I play in the planning phase does not require a resource match, and then I can raise my threat by 1 and exhaust the Grey Wanderer and choose 2 of the following options. Ready Sam, give him 2 resources, or heal 3 damage. So that's going to go under my threat dial, so I don't forget to raise my threat when I trigger it. Let's see. Overcome by Grief is in the staging area. I'm just going to set it aside because the staging area gets pretty cluttered. So if we lose a character, well, that's bad. Let's see. So the Searching Eye will get shuffled into my deck. And Gandalf's Delay is on top of my deck, so I don't draw a card on my first turn. And there's also a bunch of burdens shuffled into the encounter deck. So it gets pretty hard here towards the end. You have a lot of extra bad stuff going on before you even start the quest. Okay, before we get into this quest proper, let's take a look at my deck build. Shouldn't be any surprise that I went with a Grey Wanderer Sam and Frodo to keep this as thematic as possible. So this is a build I was nervous to do from the get-go. When the hobbits were still in the Shire, I was thinking about Shelob and how I was going to handle this thing. So of course I knew we were going to have Hero Sam, who readies when we engage somebody with a higher engagement than our threat, which is only going to be 8 because he's my only hero, and he gets a stat boost. And then we're going with Frodo that came in the Land of Shadow, and so I can spend a Fellowship resource and exhaust the One Ring, and Frodo gets +2 willpower and +2 attack until the end of the round. That's going to be very useful because with only 2 characters, I'm running into a lot of trouble. Now you might say, hey Chad, I see 3 allies there. Yes, 3 Masters of the Forge. We need to think of these guys as an event with stats. You exhaust the Master of the Forge, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you get to choose an attachment from that and add it to your hand. I just needed more card draw, more ways to get attachments into my hand. I need to load up Sam and Frodo, and I just need card draw. Completely unthematic, of course. I guess you could say, well, Faramir did give the hobbits the staff of Lebethron when they were leaving, but he didn't, forge anything. But this is where they get the staff. So I've been calling them a walking stick up to this point, but now it's actually the staff of Lebethron. We can exhaust it and discard a shadow from an enemy with a higher engagement cost than our threat. So that's awesome. Shelob's shadows are really nasty, so that's good to get rid of them. Sam, as I said, he's the Grey Wanderer, so I want to get Strider on him so he can have +2 willpower and not exhaust to quests. If by some miracle I draw Strider in my opening hand, then I'm going to grab a Hobbit Cloak because Sam needs to be defending for a little bit more. He's going to be getting a boost from friend to friend, so is Frodo. He's also going to have the Fireside Song and a bunch of songs so he can, 1, pay for any card in any phase. I don't have to worry about just the first card in the planning phase. And then also, I just need to boost his willpower up like crazy. So the Fireside Song is going to be super important. The most important song is the Song of Wisdom, so I can play more of these card draw cards when I need to, because I need to find the things that I'm really looking for. He's got to be holding on to a lot of stuff, and so does Frodo. Frodo needs at least 1 fast hitch, so because of the heavy burden, he's going to be exhausted every round, and so the fast hitch can pop him right back up. And Frodo is also going to be holding on to the daggers, because Sam's restricted slots are going to be taken up by the staff and by Sting. Yes, Sam will have Sting. Finally, that's who I've wanted to have Sting, but thematically it's been Frodo up to this point. But Sam with Sting is going to be great. +1 to all of his stats. And then Response. After attached hero exhaust to defend an attack, I discard the top card of the encounter deck and deal damage equal to that card's threat. I don't have to exhaust Sting to do that. So if Sam is defending multiple times, you can keep triggering this. It's great. But that's his second restricted one. I think in an earlier video, Autumn pointed out that I had thought Hobbit Cloak was restricted, but it's not. Okay, like I said, lots of card draw, but there is some specialized tech for this quest. We have a little bit of direct damage. It doesn't have to be a lot. I just need 1 direct damage to go towards Shelob, and that'll help a lot. And then Taste It Again, super thematic and also very helpful. So that'll help us kill Shelob, giving the defender +2 attack and a ready against Shelob. That is great. Unseen Strike would also be extremely useful. That's why Sam needs to have the Song of Battle, so he can play a tactics card in the combat phase. Of course, Frodo's Intuition. Heed the Dream is very good. It helps me find what I'm looking for, and I should be able to pay for the kicker. So I grab a card from the top 5, and then I can search my entire deck for a card. One of the cards that I absolutely need to find is the Power of Orthanc. Not thematic at all, but I need a way to remove conditions. There is a very nasty condition attachment in this quest, and I need to be able to get rid of it. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm hoping just to get tons of stuff on these 2 hobbits and seeing if I can power my way through this quest. I was having trouble building this deck. I really was. And then when I put in the 3 copies of Master of the Forge, the deck just started to work. That little bit of extra card draw was really what got me over the hump of the deck build, because this quest also makes you discard cards from your hand. So having a way to constantly find an attachment and pay for the attachment immediately, because Sam usually has a ton of resources. So any attachment I draw, I can usually pay for. The only time I can't is because I don't have the right song, and I only could play 1 card that round. Like if I had Fireside Song and the Dagger, I only could play 1 of those unless I had the respective song. So anyway, this is a very, very hard quest, but this deck ended up working really well against it, and I think it's pretty darn thematic. I mean, it's just Frodo and Sam and a bunch of stuff that they're going to be holding on to. And like I said, Master of the Forge, just there to draw me cards. All right, let's get back to the table and see what's up with this quest. Okay, up we go, up the stairs of Cirith Ungol. So we're going to set the Clef of Cirith Ungol, Shelob, and the Great Spider encounter set aside out of play. Smeagol's going to be in play, and he's going to be helping us for a little bit. We're going to make the Morgul Vale the active location, and Smeagol's Secret Way is going to be in the staging area. Okay, so a bunch of cards starting out in play. We're going to set these aside. This encounter set is... It's bad, guys. It's so bad. Like, shuffling that thing into the deck is just painful because you know how bad it is. Speaking of bad, the Morgul Vale. 4 threat, 2 progress. It's immune, it's a Veil, and then forced. After it's explored, we're going to search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Morgul Wraith and add it to the staging area, shuffle the encounter deck. Then, the first player must either exhaust the 1 ring or discard a random card from their hand. Okay, that's pretty bad. And then Smeagol's Secret Way. Okay, we got the big winding stairs that we had to try to figure out what the art was here. This is what's happening. Pretty cool. All right, it's a 2/2. It's immune. Travel. Either exhaust Smeagol or discard a card from our hand. And then forced, after it's explored, we have to exhaust a character we control or discard a random card from our hand. So it's hard to build up a board state when you're constantly being forced to discard a card. All right, side 1B, no progress needed. We cannot place progress on any underground locations because we are climbing the stair. And then response. After Smeagol's Secret Way is explored, we can discard 3 random cards from our hand to discard each Nazgul enemy in the staging area. And then after the quest phase, if Smeagol's Secret Way is in the victory display, we will advance to the next stage of this quest. So just like in the last quest, this one is hard because you have to start really fast. You have to get through these 2 locations as quickly as possible because since we can't place progress on underground locations, any locations that come out of the encounter deck will sit in the staging area with no way to get rid of them. So that's just adding threat and more threat. So we need a really powerful opening hand. I want to find Hobbit Cloak. I want to find Sting. I want to find Fireside Song. But my absolute number 1 card is Master of the Forge. And guys, I am so glad I got this on video because what you're about to witness is the greatest starting hand I have ever drawn. All right, here we go. Right off the bat, Master of the Forge, so I know I'm keeping it. Friend of Friends, Song of Battle, Strider, my single copy, Sting, my single copy, and Deep Knowledge. I drew Master of the Forge, Strider, and Sting in my opening hand. I mean, that's just absolutely nuts. I would have been happy with any one of those 3 cards, but to get all 3 in my opening hand was just crazy. I was so excited I forgot to search my deck for my starting attachment thanks to the Grey Wanderer. Because I drew Strider, that means I actually get to search my deck for a Hobbit Cloak and put that on Sam. So Hobbit Cloak is also basically in my starting hand because I drew Strider. It's just crazy. All right, we also have Smeagol helping us, 2/2/2/5. He's immune to player card effects. After we quest unsuccessfully, we flip Smeagol to Gollum, and then if he leaves play, we lose the game. All right, that's no fun. And then we have to exhaust him to travel to that location and staging, so you don't even want to quest with him on turn 1. Okay, so here I am. I can't draw my first card, and then that's when I realize I need to go find the Hobbit Cloak. So what the trick is with this quest is it's really just power through these first 2 locations as fast as possible, and then just plan on discarding 3 cards from your hand so you can get rid of the Nazgul that's going to be up in staging. So you want to try to have 3 cards in hand, and hopefully they're not 3 cards that you need. I mean, I need them all, but if if it's a song and I already have that song in play or something, that'd be great. So yeah, it's pretty hard. I was tempted to grab Friend of Friends instead of the Hobbit Cloak because I have a Friend of Friends in hand, but I think I'll stick with the Hobbit Cloak. Friend of Friends was tempting though, because then I could boost both Hobbits' stats by 1 plus 1 hit point. But I still think Hobbit Cloak is the way to go. I need Sam to be able to defend, and I have to find it. I only have 2 of it because there's so many cards that I need. It was really hard to put 3 of any card. I only wanted 1 copy in play. I just had so many cards to find. That's why Master of the Forge helps so much, because I can pick and choose which attachment I'm looking for if there's a duplicate in the top 5. All right, let's go. Planning. Yeah, so the first card doesn't require a resource match, so I can spend both of my resources and put in this Master of the Forge, and he's going to draw me attachments, hopefully. I mean, there's a lot in the deck. So we exhaust him, and now we're going to look at the top 5 cards, and something's wrong with that sleeve. Okay, and then, we got 2 attachments. The Song of Travel, that gives me the Spirit resource icon. There's the Power of Orthanc. And a dagger. I'm going to take the dagger because it is a little tricky to kill the orcs that come out and get you throughout this quest. That's another reason why building a thematic deck for this quest is a little bit tricky. You are fighting orcs and Nazgul as you're also interacting with Shelob. Of course, that's not thematic either. So a little bit of non-thematicness going on in the quests makes it hard to build a thematic deck, but you got to understand why Caleb did that. You need to have other enemies to fight. Okay, let's use the Grey Wanderer. So I raised my threat by 1 and I collected 2 resources. I couldn't trigger a second effect. And I used one of those resources to put Strider on Sam. So now Sam has +2 willpower and he does not exhaust to quests. He also has basically +2 defense from the Hobbit Cloak because my threat is below everybody's. So he will be defending for 4. And if it's the round we engage the enemy, he'll be defending for 5 because he also has the Tireless Ranger boon, which gives him +1 defense. So, okay, end of the planning phase. So I raised my threat by 1 thanks to the heavy burden because I want to quest with Frodo, and I'm also going to quest with Sam, who does not exhaust, thanks to Strider. So it's going to be 7 against 2. I really hope we can clear this location, and we get, Fear of Discovery, Surge. And then I have to either exhaust the Ring Bearer or it surges again. Well, it's surging again. So this is 2 cards. This could be bad because you can get location locked so easy. We do get an underground location, the Den of Night, a 1/4. And while it's in the staging area, after a when revealed effect is canceled, place 1 resource on Shelob. To travel there, place a resource on Shelob. Okay, card number 2, here we go, and we get Many Openings. When revealed, each location in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the round. If the number of locations in the staging area is less than the number of players in the game, reveal an additional encounter card. It's actually pretty good to leave that 1 threat location in the staging area for the rest of the game, so this card, when I reveal it again, because I'm gonna, it's not gonna surge. Okay, well, we just make it. We make our 2 progress, and we get the heck out of the Morgul Vale, thank goodness. Now a whole bunch of stuff happens. We need to find a Morgul Wraith and add it to the staging area, and then we have to either discard a random card or exhaust the ring. We're going to exhaust the ring because my threat is low enough that I will not have to engage this Morgul Wraith, which gets -30 engagement costs, when the ring is exhausted. So it's a 15, and we are still under 15. So it is 4 threat, though. So that's a lot of threat we just added to the staging area. And, we still cannot place progress on underground locations. So any locations we reveal are just going to stick around in the staging area. So let's travel up the stairs. We're doing Smeagol's Secret Way, and we have to make 2 progress on it. And when it's explored, a bunch of stuff will happen. To travel there, we exhaust Smeagol. All right, let's go into round number 2. That was pretty successful. I'm very, very glad to have the Master of the Forge in play. We draw the Power of Orthanc. Okay, that's great, because there are a couple condition attachments from the encounter deck that are just terrible. Absolutely terrible. We got to get rid of them. They're game enders. Master of the Forge finds us Fast Hitch, Song of Hope, and Fireside Song. All good. Readying with the Fast Hitch is really nice, because then I can exhaust the Fast Hitch to the Heavy Burden and pop Frodo right back up again, so I don't have to keep raising my threat, because I am raising my threat every time I use the Grey Wanderer, so my threat will climb pretty quick. I'm just looking to see how many songs I have to see if Fireside Song would be more helpful. But yes, I will keep Fast Hitch, and I also know there's a fantastic chance that I'm going to be losing any card in my hand that I don't play, because I want to get rid of this Morgul Wraith, and to do that, I'm going to have to discard 3 cards. So anything I don't play, I could lose. Since the first non-unique card does not require a resource match, let's play Deep Knowledge and get more cards into my hand. And, okay, Song of Travel and Unseen Strike. I mean, every card is good. I just figure the more cards I have in hand, the less likely it is I'm going to discard something I actually really, really want to keep. Like, I think Fast Hitch is probably the most important card that I'm not going to be able to get in play, because I'm going to play Sting on Sam, which feels great. And he's going to get a +1 to all of his stats. And then when I get attacked, as long as the enemy is not immune, I discard the top card of the encounter deck and deal damage equal to that card's threat, and it does not exhaust Sting to do it. So that is absolutely amazing. Okay, let's trigger the Grey Wanderer, raise my threat by 1. I'm going to give Sam 2 more resources, and with those 2 resources, I can put into play the Song of Battle, which then lets me play the Dagger of Westernaise, which I'm going to put on Frodo. So I got 1 song in play. I have a weapon on Frodo, which is really important. I got Sting. I'm just trying to play as many of these cards as possible, and then I'm going to lose some cards. That's just the way this quest goes. So here's all the cards I have in hand going into this quest phase. I don't want to lose the Power of Orthanc. I don't want to lose Fast Hitch. Probably going to lose at least 1. Hopefully not both. All right, we are currently up against 5, and I need to trigger the Heavy Burden at the end of the planning phase. So either exhaust Frodo or raise my threat. I will raise my threat. Threat goes up by 3 every round, most likely, if you're triggering Grey Wanderer and Heavy Burden. So even though it starts at 8, it goes up pretty darn fast. All right, let's send Smeagol as well. And then I forgot to adjust the die on Sam. So he actually got a boost from Sting. So there we go. And yeah, all right, I am going to send 10, and we hates them. Okay, Surge. Either flips Smeagol to Gollum, or Gollum makes an immediate attack, but I can put on the ring and spend a resource off of Frodo to cancel that effect. That's why I kept a resource on Frodo, just in case I had to do something like that. And then it surges into that treachery we've already seen many openings, which just adds 1 threat, and keeping a location in the staging area is saving that from surging. So very glad how all this worked out. All right, we do make enough progress to clear Smeagol's Secret Way. I have to exhaust a character. It's going to be Sam. That's kind of a bummer. I was thinking I might be able to engage this Nazgul, but because I had to put the ring on, it drops the Nazgul's engagement cost by 30. And because my threat is 15, that means Sam won't ready, because it'd be 15 to my 15. So Sam wouldn't ready, and yeah, I gotta discard the cards. I was trying to figure out, can I get out of this without discarding the cards? All right, here we go, and yep, Fast Hitch, there it goes. Hotam Bombadil and Song of Travel. I mean, to be honest, Hotam Bombadil might have got used this quest. I was not sad keeping that in my hand. We got rid of Fast Hitch. That stinks. Okay, but let's advance to the second quest stage. The Spider's Pass. When revealed, add Shelob to the staging area. Shuffle all cards from the Great Spider encounter set and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, so that Wraith is going right back into the encounter deck. Here's Shelob. She's not very nice. She's 50 engagement, 4/4/4/8. Creature Spider, indestructible, can't have attachments. She gets +1 threat for each resource on her, and then forced, at the beginning of the quest phase, either place 1 resource on her, or she makes an immediate attack. Okay, let's look at 2B while I do the shuffling. 16 progress needed. Shelob cannot leave the staging area. And Smeagol cannot attack or defend. Each player cannot play or put into play more than 1 ally each round. And then we can only place 4 progress on this quest stage each round. So we're going to be here at least 4 rounds. Don't think I'm going to travel. I like having this 1 threat location in staging to avoid that many openings treachery from surging. So let's go into the next round, and here's where Master of the Forge really shows his quality, because he's going to help me find these attachments that I need to find ASAP. So just having a constant way to find an attachment is amazing. We draw a second Power of Orthanc. All right, so the only attachment I have in hand is Friend of Friends. So let's see what Master of the Forge can find me. There's a lot. there's a lot of stuff I need to find. All right, and we get a second Friend of Friends, the Staff of Leberthron, Fireside Song, and Song of Hope. All right, well, I'm going to take the Staff because discarding Shelob's Shadows is super important, because Sam is going to defend her attack every quest phase. And if I can get rid of her shadow, that really takes the sting out of this quest. Get it? So, yeah, her shadows are really nasty, especially the ones that come in that encounter set that we just shuffled in. So let's spend a resource, put in the Staff. I exhaust it after declaring somebody a defender against an enemy with a higher engagement cost than mine, and we get to discard the shadow. So that is going to be super helpful. And then end of the quest phase, or end of the planning phase. Heavy Burden. Oh boy, this is where the Fast Hitch would have been nice. I think I'm going to raise my threat. I want to keep Frodo ready. And then we will now get attacked by Shelob. So Shelob gets a shadow card, or I could place a resource on her. If you can avoid placing resources, it's really smart. So let's get attacked. I'm going to defend with Sam. I'm going to get rid of the shadow. The shadow was nothing. Okay. And then I could trigger Sting, but there's no point. There's no point in damaging Shelob right now. Okay, so now we're going to trigger the Grey Wanderer. We're going to pop Sam back up, and I'm going to collect 2 resources. There's a lot of steps in this quest that you kind of have to add on, unlike a normal quest, because of all the stuff that's happening at weird times. Heavy Burden, the attack from Shelob. So the more you play this quest, the more of a rhythm you kind of get. So Sam is ready. He does not exhaust a quest. And we are going to send 10. We are up against 5. And there's many openings again. Okay, so keeping that treachery from surging is huge. So Den of Night is really helping me, to be honest. So that was just 1 threat, and we make exactly 4. I was not counting on making 4. I was just hoping to make 1 or 2. So making 4 was amazing. And so that's it. We're done with this round. We're going to go into the next round. And the card we draw is Frodo's Intuition. Very nice. Not going to complain about that. And let's see what the Master of the Forge finds us. There's so many things I want. Okay, another Hobbit Cloak. Don't need it. Fireside Song. Need it. And another Dagger. All right, Fireside Song is definitely the card we are grabbing. So this is going to help boost our willpower. Hopefully Sam will be questing for double digits in the near future. So Fireside Song will go on Sam. And then every song gives him +1 willpower. And Fireside Song is a song itself. So that is 1 willpower. The Song of Battle is another willpower. So he's now questing for 8. And I don't have any songs in my hand. But I do have Frodo's Intuition. Let's wait. Let's wait to see if I need to play it. I was going to play it so I could draw the cards in the planning phase. But let's wait and see. I want to leave resources on Frodo if possible to cancel We Hates Them, or to trigger Frodo's ability and give him a willpower boost. All right, Heavy Burden. Let's raise my threat. It's at 20 now. And then we're going to get attacked. So Sam is going to defend. He's defending for 5. Shelob is attacking for 4. I will trigger the Staff and get rid of the shadow. And it would have made her make an additional attack. So yeah, getting rid of these shadows is huge. All right, Grey Wanderer. Threat goes up by 1 more. Sam gets 2 resources and readies. Sam's going to quest for 8. Frodo for 2. So we're doing 10. And we get the Orc of COTRPodcast. So it's a 2-threat orc. When it's revealed, I either have to discard a random card or it makes an attack against me. Let's get attacked. And now I can trigger Sting. So Sting says let's deal a damage. So 1 damage going to this orc. That's nice. And then the shadow is nothing. Okay, great. So we handled that no problem. We are currently making 3 progress. I'd like to make 1 more. So I could either spend 1 of Frodo's resources to give him a boost of 2, or I spend both of his resources and play Frodo's Intuition. Let's do Frodo's Intuition so I can draw the 2 cards, and I'll get a resource next round that I can use for any treacheries or whatever. Okay, Heed the Dream and another Frodo's Intuition, so that's nice. And then, yes, like I said, now we have made our 4 progress, so we're 8 out of 16. Let's engage this orc. That'll ready Sam and boost his defense. He's going to get a shadow, of course. Sam will defend. Sting triggers again, and this time no damage, but it is nice to see Ill Fate go away. And then the shadow is, if attacking enemy is Shelob, it makes an additional attack, so that's same shadow. So that's nice. That treachery is really bad, so it's nice to get that out of the deck. Sam doesn't take any damage. Smeagol cannot help with the attacking or anything, so I kept him ready in case we revealed a location that required us to exhaust Smeagol to travel there. All right, next round. Really what I need is just to boost Sam's willpower. That would be absolutely key. We get a Drinking Song, which I could only play in the planning phase because I still don't have a Song of Wisdom. So maybe the Master of the Forge can find me the Song of Wisdom. There's 3 copies. He does not, but he does find me my second Friend of Friends or Song of Hope. So let's do Friend of Friends. Man, I tell you, Master of the Forge was clutch. That was the card I needed to make this deck work against this quest. Just grabbing an attachment every single turn that I most likely can put into play was what I needed. So, okay, I have 2 copies of Friend of Friends. So Sam and Frodo are each going to get stat boosts. But before I play them, let's play Heed the Dream, because it's my first non-unique card in the planning phase. So I get to look at my top 5 cards, and if I want to spend 3 leadership resources, I can then search the entire deck for a card. Ooh, and my top 5 is Song of Wisdom and Fast Hitch. Okay, well, let's get that Fast Hitch, but, oh man, I still won't be able to play it. So I can search my entire deck for a song. I could get the Song of Wisdom, but actually, I think I'm going to get the Song of Travel, because I also can't play those Power of Orthancs if I don't have access to Spirit. And although playing a Fast Hitch now would be nice, playing the Power of Orthanc could be essential. Like I might absolutely have to play the Power of Orthanc to get rid of a condition attachment. So I'm going with what I need to keep from dying versus from what I need that would be convenient right now. So I cannot play Fast Hitch right now. Sam spent 3 resources to dig through my entire deck to grab that Song of Travel. So I don't have 2 extra resources right now that I can spend on Friend of Friends, and I can't trigger Grey Wanderer before I get attacked by Shelob. So I'm just going to have to hold on to all these cards, and then next round we'll be able to play a whole bunch. So let's end the planning phase. Frodo is going to raise my threat, and then we're going to get attacked. I think we know the drill by this point. So Sam defends. He triggers the staff. The shadow is... okay, well, there's one of the condition attachments that I absolutely needed to have an answer for, and it goes away as a shadow. So goodbye, Lure of the Ring. Let's trigger the Grey Wanderer, raise my threat, 2 resources, ready Sam. Sam's questing for 8. Now, what do I want to do here? I think I'll just send Smeagol. I'm going to try to kill this orc. So let's send Smeagol. So we're sending 10 against 5. Okay, Exhalation of Decay. We got to discard a random card from our hand and something that we have in play, an attachment. Okay, I'm going to get rid of Lembas, and then from my hand, here goes the Fast Hitch again, I bet. All right, the card we're going to get rid of is one of my 2 Power of Orthancs. Kind of a bummer, but it's also okay because I've already gotten rid of one of the condition attachments as a shadow effect, so I still have 1 in hand. Okay, we make our 4 progress, so 12 out of 16. We're going to get attacked by this orc again. Sting triggers, nothing. Ooh, that's a really good treachery to not reveal. And then I started to figure out how much damage I could do to this guy, thinking that the defensive part of this combat was over, but I actually had forgotten to flip the shadow card. So the shadow card is actually deal it 2 more shadow cards. So let's back up. All right, here we go. We're flipping the shadow. 2 more shadow cards. This could be bad. Okay, nothing, and if it destroys a character. Okay, so it didn't matter. Now, Frodo can deal 1 damage. He can't quite kill the guy, even if I trigger his ability. So this guy now has 2 out of his 5 damage, and we will go into the next round. My threat is sitting at 25, which is pretty good. Although if I have the ring on, I'm definitely engaging one of these wraiths if they come out, but I can handle it pretty well now. We get a second fast hitch. Okay, so now I have fast hitches. Thank goodness. Still no Song of Wisdom, though, so I only can play 1. So let's start out by triggering the Master of the Forge, and let's see what we can find. I am looking for a Song of Wisdom. That would be the best. And we get Hobbit Cloak and Fireside Song. Okay, not the greatest. There's the Searching Eye. That was coming out. So we're going to grab this other Hobbit Cloak. I mean, I can put it on Frodo. Not restricted or anything, and sometimes I might need him to defend. He's a decent defender with the Hobbit Cloak, and especially with Friend to Friends, he'd be defending for 5. Okay, so the first card I'm going to play is Fast Hitch. That's going to go on Frodo, so I no longer need to raise my threat by 1. Thanks to the Heavy Burden, I can just exhaust Frodo and then ready with Fast Hitch. And then we are going to play Friend to Friends, so each of the hobbits are going to get a boost to all of their stats, including hit points. Let's put the Song of Travel on Sam, so he will now be questing for 10. Frodo's questing for 3, and we are good to go. So I'm going to exhaust Frodo and then ready him with the Fast Hitch, so I don't need to worry about raising my threat thanks to the Heavy Burden. And now we get attacked by Shelob. Okay, so still avoiding placing resources on Shelob. Sam defends, we use the staff, get rid of the shadow, and we once again avoid an additional attack by Shelob. The staff is so dang important to this quest to stop Shelob from just going crazy. Okay, Grey Wanderer, threat goes up, 2 resources, Sam is ready. He's questing for 10, and I'm planning on advancing to stage 3, so we're going to send Smeagol, because we might as well use his stats for something. So we're going to make it 12. We are up against 5, and yeah, okay. I figured this would show up at some point. Call of the Ring, when revealed, we either got to add a Nazgul enemy to the staging area, or we exhaust the ring and reveal another card. Let's do that, and we get Lurking Malice. Peril, Surge, when revealed, either place 1 resource on Shelob, or she makes an attack. Well, I don't know what I'm surging into, so I really can't handle another attack. I know I have at least 1 attack coming in combat. It might be 2, because if I advance, I'm getting engaged with another enemy, as you will see. So I think we need to place the resource on Shelob, which is going to increase her threat by 1. Dang, we were doing so good with no resources on her. And it surges, so let's see what this surges into. Oh, many openings. Great, that's fine. So just +1 threat, and it doesn't surge, and we do advance. Okay, so let's go to stage 3, the final stage of this quest. We are now deep inside Shelob's lair, and we have Gollum's Betrayal. When revealed, add the Cleft of Cirith to the staging area. Flip Smeagol to Gollum and heal all damage from Shelob. Then each player places 1 resource on Shelob, so that's why damaging Shelob didn't matter. And now we're engaged with Gollum. That does boost Sam. So we have 2 enemies engaged with us now. Extra resource on Shelob. The Cleft of Cirith is a 4/4. It's immune, and then when it's explored, Shelob gets +2 attack and loses the indestructible keyword. She will engage the first player, and to travel there, we gotta place a resource on Shelob. So now she has 3 resources. We're gonna be traveling there right now. So let's just put that as the active location. And then finally, 3B, 8 progress needed. When Gollum is defeated, we add him to the victory display. We do not flip him over. And here's the big one. While Shelob has at least 1 resource on her, she gains Forced. When she would take any amount of damage, cancel that damage, and discard 1 resource instead. We cannot defeat the stage unless both Shelob and Gollum are in the victory display, and when we defeat the stage, we win. So that's why any sort of direct damage is good. Even a single rock from Hail of Stones would knock off one of these resources, and she has 3. All right, combat. We're getting attacked by 2 enemies, 1 for 4, 1 for 2. So let's have Sam defend. And Sting will trigger nothing, but it is we hates them, so that's good to see that go away. And then the shadow was nothing. So Sam handled the orc's attack, no problem. Now, Gollum is only attacking for 2. And We Hates Him is the nastiest shadow. It gives Gollum +3 attack. One of the 2 copies is in the discard pile, so there's still 1 copy left in the encounter deck. Is that copy the current shadow card? Because if I can take this undefended, I can get rid of Gollum right now, which would be amazing and almost necessary because I'm going to get attacked by Shelob at least once. So I think we just got to take the risk. Oh, man, so nervous. And it is a shadow. If the attacking enemy is Shelob, place a resource on her. She gets +1 for every resource. Whew, okay. It's only 2 damage, so I'm going to put that on Sam. And then Frodo can swing for 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I trigger his ability, he is swinging for 6. But I have Unseen Strike, +3 against an enemy that has a higher engagement. So I'm going to give myself +3 attack. I'm targeting myself, not the enemy. And then we can take care of Gollum. So Gollum is gone for now. And that's great. So we're just engaged with this orc. And then Shelob's up in staging. And we need to make 8 progress. But my priority right now is to try to get rid of Shelob. I'll worry about the progress later. I mean, Sam's questing for 10. Let's see. What do we get? Another friend of friends? Okay, that doesn't matter. And then, of course, we will trigger the Master of the Forge. I could chump with him, to be honest, but yeah, let's trigger Master of the Forge. There's a couple cards I'm still looking for, so getting attachments out of my deck helps me find them. I could give Frodo a staff, but then he can't hold on to a second dagger. There was Tasted Again. That's a card I really want to get in play for thematic reasons, and it's super, super helpful. Okay. So not the greatest there. I didn't really get 2 cards I was looking for this round. But I do have that second Fast Hitch in hand. So let's put that one on Sam, because Sam is going to be Samwise the Brave, and he's going to need to do some defending. So let's spend that resource. That was the first non-unique card. And then I do have Frodo's Intuition if I need it. And I have the Power of Orthanc if I need that. Okay, before we go into the end of planning, let's put this Hobbit Cloak on Frodo, just in case I need 1 more defense. He will be defending for a lot as well. And now we are at the end of planning. Do I want to exhaust Frodo, or do I want to raise my threat? I think I can handle the threat increase. And I might just plan on not putting on the ring anymore. So if we do get one of those Morgul Wraiths, we can just leave that up in staging. Yeah, okay. So let's raise my threat for the heavy burden. And now Shelob attacks. The staff gets rid of the shadow, which was nothing. And now we can actually use Sting. So Sting can damage Shelob, and it does. It takes away 1 of her resource tokens, but it was the Blocked Passage, which is an amazing card to not reveal because it would put a 9 progress location as our active all of a sudden. So let's trigger Grey Wanderer. Sam can quest for 10. Frodo can add 3. I went back and forth on whether or not to send Frodo to try to take care of these enemies versus questing. I decided at the end, yes, I will send Frodo on the quest. So it's going to be 13, and then we get... Oh, geez. Okay, here we go. Shelob's Poisoned. When revealed, attach it to a character, exhaust that character. That character cannot ready. And their text box is blank. Okay, great. Frodo got stabbed. Again. Quit getting stabbed, Frodo! So, of course, it's a thematic home run to stab Frodo with Shelob's Stinger, but this is why Power of Orthanc is in the deck, so I can get rid of this thing, because I would basically lose if I couldn't get rid of it. Okay, we do make progress. Frodo does not lose his willpower, luckily, so we do clear the Cleft of Cirith Ungol. We place a couple progress on the quest, and now, since that's in the victory display, Shelob will engage us, which will boost Sam, and she also has +2 attack, so now she's attacking for 6. All right, Power of Orthanc. Let's raise my threat by 2, and we will get rid of this condition attachment. I don't have any more Power of Orthancs, so if another Shelob's Poison comes out, that might be a game ender as well. I have 4 cards in hand, none of which help me in combat. And yeah, we got 2 attacks coming, and you know, it's not over. We're still fighting our way through this quest. Very hard quest. So Sam has 2 actions. He has a Fast Hitch. So Sam will defend against the orc. Let's trigger Sting. Whew. The Morgul Wraith does 4 direct damage to that orc, taking it out. All right. Way to go, Sting. Let's go. All right. Sam will ready with the fast hitch, and I'm going to have him defend against Shelob, and let's have Sting trigger and see if we can get rid of another resource. We do. Okay, Sting's doing a lot of work, so another resource gone, and then the shadow is if it destroys a character. Okay, well, even with a +2 attack, Shelob still doesn't do any damage to Sam. Sam had healed his 2 damage the last time we used the Grey Wanderer. And we will go into the next round. So we're currently engaged with Shelob. She'll still attack us in the quest phase, but we got her 4th threat out of staging, so questing just became a lot easier. We draw another drinking song. Still no Song of Wisdom to be had. I do have a second staff that I could put on Frodo, so since Shelob will be attacking twice, it might make sense to have Sam and Frodo defend, so we can get rid of the shadow each time. Let's see what the Master of the Forge finds us. Just the Song of Hope. There was Tasted again. It was down, my 5th card down. Would love to get that card. Okay. We'll put the Song of Hope on Sam so he gets +1 willpower and he can spend a resource to gain a willpower 3 times a phase. He is now questing for 11. And then I think I will put the Staff of Lebethron on Frodo. So if Frodo defends Shelob, I can get rid of the shadow as well. Or at the very least, if he has to defend a different enemy, we can get rid of the shadow. So let's just avoid shadows if we can. Hopefully I don't have to defend with Frodo. And then now we will go into the quest phase. So I'm going to raise my threat by 1 thanks to the heavy burden. And then Shelob will attack, definitely not placing a resource. Come on, Sting, knock that last resource off. It doesn't. Okay, it was a treachery. And then the staff will get rid of the shadow. And the shadow was another blocked tunnel. Okay, good. Good. That is definitely a location I'm glad I have avoided. So let's use Grey Wanderer, ready Sam, 2 resources. Raised my threat. Sam is questing for 11 against 1. I don't need to send Frodo. I think I was going to, and then I realized I have a 10 quest point difference, and I just got rid of another blocked passage, so I think we'll be okay. Let's send Sam. He's 11, and then, okay, here we go. Fear of Discovery is back, so I can actually exhaust Frodo this time. So it's just going to surge instead of surging twice. And now we get the, okay, great, the Spider's Lair. It's just a 3 threat location that isn't going to do anything while it's in staging right now. So we do make enough progress to put the 8 on the quest. So all we got to do is get Shelob into the victory display, and we will win. I was a little bit tempted to travel because it would make Shelob attack me, which is 1 more chance for Sting to knock that resource off. But I don't think I'm going to risk another attack if I don't have to. So let's get attacked by Shelob. Again, she's attacking for 6. We're going to risk the shadow because I want to trigger Sting, and Sting does take the resource off. Okay, way to go, Sting. And then the shadow was nothing. Okay, good. So that worked out really well. I wanted to defend with Sam so I could trigger Sting, and that worked out. At the moment, I can only attack for 7 before I trigger Frodo's ability. Even 9 is not enough. So we're going to play Frodo's Intuition, and maybe I can grab my last Unseen Strike. Okay, I don't. I do get a dagger. That doesn't help me now. So let's just attack for what we can. So Frodo swinging for 4, Sam for 3, and then spending Frodo's last resource to trigger his ability means I can attack for 9. And we will do 5 damage to Shelob and go into what is hopefully the final round of the game. So that went extremely well. Okay, the card we draw, can you believe it? Taste It again shows up at the last second. I love it. I love the theme. I see you, theme. I see what you did there. All right. So let's see. All I'm going to do is play the Shire folk that I drew with Frodo's Intuition and drop my threat by 4. Not really a problem. We will raise my threat right back up by 1 per the heavy burden. And now Shelob's going to attack us. And honestly, if I get rid of a Morgul Wraith with Sting, we could end the game right here. So come on, Sting, let's go. And the card is, nope, just a treachery. Okay. The staff gets rid of the shadow, and it's We Hates Them. Okay, so it was quite a ways down. And so we survived that, of course. And now I can either trigger the Grey Wanderer or fast hitch to ready Sam. Let's just do the Grey Wanderer, get some resources. Sam pops up. Sam will quest without exhausting. He's questing for 11, and we get a 2 threat Deep Dark Passage. Okay, not a big deal at all. so we don't even need to place progress, and we get attacked. So once again, Sting could kill Shelob. And if I defend with Frodo, I can get rid of the shadow. But you know what? I'm going to defend with Sam. Let's go thematic. So we're going to defend with Sam. So Sam can use Sting, and we're also going to be able to use Taste It Again, which is going to ready Sam and give him +2 attack. So that seems more thematic than using Frodo. So Sam's going to defend. We're going to say, after I defend the attack, I'm going to ready with +2, but first Sting with the final card. Ooh, it was Shelob's poison. So how close was that to being thematic, where Frodo would have ended the game poisoned? There's the Morgul Wraith. I knew there was one left. So that was very close to having Sting do it, but yeah. Taste It Again, ready Sam, +2 attack. So Sam is attacking for 5. He does need a little help from Frodo to deal the final death blow here. But that went extremely well, super thematic. We squashed the spider, and we were able to defeat this quest. So I'm very happy with how all this worked out. Let's look at the campaign resolution. We have earned a heavy burden, so the next time we play a quest with Frodo, we got to worry about that, but we are swinging back to all the rest of the members of the Fellowship. We need to catch up with Aragorn and company and see what they've been up to. So we made it through these 3 quests. I was definitely worried about these 3 quests, playing them thematically, and I'm really happy with how this all turned out. I hope you enjoyed the videos as well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.